broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Everybody, welcome to the Legend of Korra after show, and there's the music. I was waiting for it.
Yeah,
it's building.
It was it. It comes in. It's setting a great tone,
yes,
especially for this episode. But speaking of setting tones, let's set the tone right. Joining me this week is Mr. Tauri J. Miller.
Hey, hey.
And back from her sabbatical, traveling the world. I believe her last stop was it Tibet? Or
it was like Malaysia.
Was it Malaysia?
Malaysia.
Is that a city in Kansas?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey guys, Liz Rishmawy. Good to be back.
And people, of course, I'm John Quick, and we got one heck of an episode to unpack for you as more mechs, just all of the mechs. Yes. I was actually watching this episode earlier today, and a friend of mine was just like, hey, I thought that this show was like a fantasy show. I'm like, yeah? He goes, why are there giant robots?
Because in real life we do have giant robots, so it doesn't make sense to ask why is this such a realistic show. I thought it was fantasy.
Well,
so
you have to keep in mind they are run on magic. Like magic runs them.
And metal bending.
I was about to say metal bending,
which is magic.
Nobody uses it. It's very scientific, you guys.
Well, it is kind of awesome that now you can have giant robots in something and you're not breaking the narrative law of double magic.
Right.
So many stories I can now write and never get published. The dream is alive, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So here we are, Legend of Korra, episode 11, Kuvira's Gambit, and opening up this episode, we see Kuvira, like the true dictator she is, addressing her troops, getting them pumped up for the now big invasion of the United Republic.
Dun dun dun.
All right, yeah, come on board, guy. You're totally missing that. We had a bum.
He's like, I don't care if
He's like, I don't care.
Gonna leave us hanging? All right, fine. All right.
Yeah.
Smart ass.
If you weren't on the Kuvira is Hitler train before this speech, I feel like you gotta get on now, because come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one definitely wasn't. We were talking about like our whole World War II analogy. This is, oh my God, this is crossing the Rhine.
Yeah.
Wow!
It's there. It's all there.
It really is. And I mean, I thought it really nailed it home last week when they were actually like, so what can we make the super weapon look like? Hey, there's a Nazi super weapon that looks like it. All right, fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I keep on thinking of like Neon
Genesis.
Yeah,
Evangelion.
Evangelion.
Well,
like,
this week, yes, and actually I was trying to think, but that's going on later in the episode. But did you guys notice, like, I was just looking over like Kuvira's speech when she talks about we're reclaiming the land that was stolen from us by Avatar Aang and Fire Lord Zuko, completely omitting the fact that the old Earth King was totally in agreement on that.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know, like, I just... And I don't want to like divulge. I mean, this is a recap show. We can jump around a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Like go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Go for it.
I just really like how, you know, we're building up this character, and each episode she's just getting more and more like, you are a crazy, you know, sociopathic, very emotionless, like, not nice person. And then
you're a meanie.
You're a meanie head. And it's just like,
great adjective.
Yeah, I like it. I just like how I thought this was going to be the episode. Like, I called it to myself while watching it, like, especially giving like the very cold, heartless kind of speech in the beginning, very Hitlerish and whatever. And then I was like, you know what? I feel like she's going to betray, what's his name?
Batar Jr.?
Yeah, Batar Jr. I feel like this is going to be the episode where she shows that she really doesn't care about anything except this, like, world domination thing for the Earth Kingdom for herself.
And especially since they had, like, such a tender moment. Like, after she did her great speech, they do the whole hug, and after this is done, we're going to get married and have,
he's
like...
mentioning it, not her. That's the entire reason why I was like, nah, she's not into you, dude. She's not into you.
Well, we were talking about last week saying that if anytime villains have these tender moments, it means one of them is going to die or something terrible is going to happen.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I mean, but you know, it's pretty bad when you have less emotions and feelings than the guy who let go of all emotion so he could fly. You know what I mean? But like, he at least was in love with someone for real, and like this chick is just like,
well, she's in love with power. She's in love with, you know, the ambition that she has. So
don't defend her.
I'm not defending her. I'm just saying that that's who this character is.
Yeah.
Like he being Zahir had an ambition, but it was more about freedom and living and being able to experience the world, you know?
Yeah.
Which is what love is.
Yeah, and she's like in the total opposite, I guess, because he wanted free of any power, and now she just wants to dominate. It's very interesting to me, though, how... I mean, do we think that she really wants to stop at Republic City? Like, she just seems to be the type of person who would, like, really, like, it's basically the 100-Year War all over again, except with the Earth Kingdom.
She's Sozin reborn in so many ways.
Yeah.
I mean, although I think Sozin had a lot more to him in so many ways. Kuvira
he had friends.
Yeah.
Before he went all psycho.
Kuvira has an obsession with perfection that, like... makes her both exceptionally human and completely inhuman. Yeah. I can't even like get a firm grasp of who she is. Like with most of the other villains that we've had in this series, like you could firmly grasp like, you know, what their real end goal is. Like I don't even know, like Kuvira's just doing it kind of because there's this strange alien drive.
I kind of want to know, do you guys have like we know that she was like a lackey for like, you know, taken under Sue's wing, but like I really want to know what the heck is up with her background. Like, does she have family? Is there a reason for this? Like, well, I wonder if we're going to get into that at all.
Interesting fan theory, and I don't think this is the case, but it'd be awesome if it was. Some people are speculating that she's actually kind of an illegitimate daughter of Azula.
Dude.
I don't think that's the case.
No, because she wouldn't be... well, I mean, unless Azula hooked up with an Earthbender, but I don't think...
I mean, they are pretty choice. Have you seen Mako and Bolin?
That's true.
Airbender fair. Or no. Earthbenders. Yeah.
That's stuff. Doing that. Which, you know, okay, total fan theory, but I saw, I forget which message board I saw it on, but I saw it and I read it, and it was kind of fascinating. Don't think it's the case at all, but
yeah,
she's less megamaniacal as Azula. Azula was definitely the cackling madman.
Yeah, and Azula was always trying to strive for her father's favoritism and stuff like that too. So, and this one is just, she's just kind of like out there on her own. But no, when you think about it though, it would have to be like Azula's granddaughter. Because... Yeah, like it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, she's not that much older. She's nowhere near the age of
Sue and Lynn,
of Tenzin or anybody like that. So, you know, she'd have to at least be the granddaughter, if anything. Or, you know, unless Azula like gave birth when she was like 50. I don't know.
Maybe might have taken her a while to find someone. That she didn't murder.
I'm gonna sit you down and teach you the ways of women's eggs drying out at a certain age. So
I'm just gonna veto that one. Just
thank you.
No, just for the sake of it would make the world too small. So boom, vast.
I didn't think it was actually the case, but I thought, ooh, this is an entertaining idea.
It's good that you brought it on the show because I love.
We can dismiss
I love series.
Exactly.
Done.
Thanks for bringing your crackpot theories.
Oh my god, you almost knocked over your cup.
Almost. That was good.
Water bending. Anyway.
Finally got the guy in the booth to laugh. That's good.
Yeah.
Awesome. A reaction. Anyway,
I made him laugh. Anyway.
Good job.
Thank you.
So, moving past this, we're back in Republic City, and basically having a meeting with Raiko, going over, it's like, okay, what's the status of everything? And as we can tell, since the evacuation is supposed to be voluntary, they got 18 families out so far.
I love this scene. And I think, you know what, and it's like a nice little foreshadowing of like, wow, you're not completely useless, Prince Wu. You know, like this whole thing, like, I was scared. And I love that, I didn't know how to go to the bathroom by myself. But now it's changing. And it's just like, but he gets this whole thing, and Mako's just like too robot. And we have this nice little, like, again, my favorite thing about the series in total are having those moments in severe, serious, dire situations to have that comedic relief.
Yeah.
And it's never pushed or never forced. And we finally get everybody to realize, oh, hey, we need to get out of here, but calm and peacefully, and we'll get you to safety.
Yeah.
So I liked it.
It was good. Jumping back a little bit, like I was confused as to why they would do voluntary evacuation when they know that Kuvira is an imminent threat. Which, I mean, as the meeting goes on, we find out how imminent it is.
Yeah, Bolin bursts in again, to which Raiko responds, "Why do you keep doing this? How do you keep doing this? Where is my security?"
So
It's a
great.
lava bender. You can do whatever he wants.
I guess so. But then that's, again, we get Bolin bursting in, introducing Julie and being this, like, Julie can tell you everything. Basically, okay, Kuvira has the super weapon, and she's going to be here in 2 weeks. So, ticking time clock. All right.
Or time bomb.
Time clock.
Ticking time clock.
Well,
they tend to tick. I don't know.
Not all of them. I mean, they could be digital.
It's true.
You have to write a program to make them tick at that point.
It's true.
It's true.
And put a speaker on them.
I love, can I just say, love that Julie finally got to just like talk back and just be like, no, I am your equal, and you're gonna respect my authority, and like just puts him in his place.
Yeah. Let's jump to
Well,
Varric.
let's jump to Varric. So Varric is in in the factory, inspiring his workers as they're making these, I guess, the dragon hummingbird flyers.
Yeah.
Which I thought were going to be, you know, the definite, you know, tide turner and all of this, as they were going to have the air, but man, is that just not happening anymore.
Well, that's what I liked about this whole thing. Not to jump forward, but like it was like we were talking about earlier, where the original canon that it's based off of, its downfall was airplanes, like flying machines, and I'm sure that the writers were like, people who are history nerds are totally going to pick up on this. Left turn, bees. Yep.
With the bees.
Yes, with the bees.
Which, as we all know, have a hard time making left turns.
Indeed.
Right turns, for whatever reason, they're totally fine with. They're Zoolander in that respect.
Yes.
But left turns.
Beat me to it.
But yeah, I love that whole scene where she just gets to put him in his place. I honestly thought, you know, every single time I think there's going to be a moment where they're going to have some sort of relationship development, and then Varric just ruins it.
Yeah.
Just ruins it
Well,
every time.
he ruins it with his Varricness. Like, after she gets into
that's why it's good. As long as he doesn't ruin it with anything other than Varricness, then, you know, but
I think he's just really oblivious.
Yeah.
Like, and because I did spin that whole scene going, kiss. It never happened because
I'm so glad you're okay. Or just one moment, even after he does all the cockiness and his Varricness, I just want to turn around like, but I'm glad you're okay, and I'm glad, you know, you didn't turn against or whatever. Like, I wanted something. I'm thinking we might get it near the end of the actual season.
I don't think we will, because I don't think that's Varric. I think the closest that we'll get is
Varric. I can't do it. There's nothing there.
You almost had it. It was almost there.
I was trying to make a
I'll
word.
give you half a point for it.
Okay, it was 0.5. I can do something like that.
hey, you're ahead of the rest of us.
These points mean nothing.
Just like in Whose Line Is It Anyways? There we go.
All right, excellent. But the great ender of all of it was Bolin, who was just like stumbled his way through every single relationship, including the one with Opal, actually face palms to Varric's obliviousness.
Yes.
So that just tells me that he's beyond anything. I think the closest that we're going to get is Varric letting Julie tell him to do the thing, or giving Julie her own project.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's...
But you know what? We don't have to make every single freaking relationship romantic in this series, which is perfectly fine with me because it would just be too cliche. So I just think it would be humorous. And I think in a way, even if it was romantic, I'm like, that is their romantic relationship. Nothing would be said. Like, that is the relationship. And just teaching him to be like just slightly less misogynistic. Well, that's about it. But it's really not that he's even had anything to do with misogyny. It's just the Varric show. So just because it's him.
He's so self-absorbed. He's basically a black hole.
It would really not matter if he was a girl or a guy.
But speaking of totally missing everything, so Mako tries to go out on all lines and let everybody know what the evacuation plan is.
I'm going to read every single note and word of this book.
I love it. It's like, I'm giving very clear instructions. How can anybody be confused? It's like, it's not so much that they're confused. You just went on site. It's like, okay, everybody, you're all about to die, and you're going to lose all of your stuff. Now, very quickly. It's like, he doesn't give them a moment to absorb it. He's just like, and apocalypse. All right, so this is what we're doing with it.
Like I said, I like how Prince Wu picked up, and it was like a really good funny moment and serious moment. It's like, wow, maybe there is some hope for him, and he's just all happy. And
I still don't want him to be king after all of this is done. I'm really hoping that something else happens.
But I'm sure he's going to have advisors, but in time, he could be.
He's showing potential. Like, every episode, he grows a little bit more. And this showed that he can kind of look beyond himself at this point. Because before, he was just like, I'm Prince Wu. Do everything I say. Flock to me.
I'm going to kick you out of this ornamental throne so I can sit down with my fake crown in a buffet bar.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I thought that was a really good scene, like having him step up and again showing more growth and more what is more of a minor character. And and then like going to the action, because we're already like, I can't believe we're already halfway through, but you know, them finding out that we don't have 2 weeks, we only have 1 week because they get sent off. And can I just say the whole thing about what's his name farting? Milo. You can't. Your farts, your air farts are just so loud. Like, I can be quiet. So great. We have fart jokes on this show, guys. This is the recap show.
The highlight of our show, fart jokes.
It's really all downhill from here. I suggest everybody tune out and just be like, you know, that was it. They got the fart joke out. Now we're done.
But on the fart joke, I think it would be a pretty good way to go into iTunes on a fart joke. John.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're on iTunes. Please go 5-star. Give us a comment. Let us know how we're doing. And trust me, we do read these comments. We don't always have time to respond, but we do read them. We do appreciate them, and our bosses appreciate them. And it allows us, you know, to keep on coming on.
Keep on coming on.
Keep coming on.
I was gonna say coming on the air, which we're not really on the air, we're on the internet, so I guess on the wires.
Yeah, if you're using Wi-Fi, we're on the air. How about that?
That's technically true.
And not to mention, not just this show, but 80 hours of content every single week, you guys. Like, and you can find all of us on other shows, which we'll get into later. But, I mean, this is like, and you don't have to pay anything. So just go online and rate 5 stars. iTunes is the website. You can even watch us streaming live on the website if you're not going to wait till YouTube the next day. So do it. And then on that, going back to farts, or what leads into that after that conversation.
So leading into farts, giant robots. Anyway, that's I guess like that's the 10-year-old me. So you know, so they think that they have 2 weeks, and then we see an outpost. We see a United Republic outpost just looking on. They see Kuvira's army, and everyone's wondering what's going on
because they think they're going by trains originally.
Yeah, because like the super weapon was mounted on rails, and then we see just coming around the corner, I don't know, Gypsy Danger just appears.
Can I say, and I had this conversation with a friend earlier today who he does 3D animation, and he said that he was kind of really disappointed with the robot.
Why?
I mean, I think
was he disappointed by fun? Does he hate fun?
It sounds like he hates fun. That's what I'm hearing.
The idea of a giant walking mecha robot with this giant arm weapon is great, but it was just. I've seen the series, I've seen the animation and what they had done with the weapon, with the other robots and stuff so far through the series and how they move things, but I almost feel like it was too jaunty, like not jaunty, like I can't think of the word. I mean, what's the adjective here? It was
it's supposed
something like this. It's too like
stuttery.
Are you talking about jittery?
Yeah,
I think a little too stiff. But
It's a giant
the legs were
60
too skinny for this big thing on top to be having. I don't know.
it's
I
the
think we're just
design?
going. Yeah, I think it was the design or how it was like jumping around.
But interesting thing, can you guess what the giant robot was made out of?
Oh, yes. It was the folding tops of Zaofu.
Oh, snap.
Yes.
Like the very beginning of last episode, they're like, why did they take the domes down? And that's
Oh my
just
god,
like,
why didn't I piece that together? I'm just like having a realization. Right? Can everybody just give me a moment? Like, talk amongst yourselves.
We will talk amongst ourselves.
all right.
I mean, kind of on that note, on that note, like the animation this episode was really interesting.
Yes.
Because to me, like, I watch a lot of animation.
Do you?
I do. Like
you?
between Western animation, anime, and all that stuff. And so like I kind of, a lot of people don't like when this happens, but I love it when they have like a lot of scenes with like stills and like moving layers and things like that. Because for me, that says we're saving our budget for something amazing. Prepare for it.
Okay, I like that. I do.
And we're going into the finale, and we're definitely going to have that. So Kuvira basically walks up with, you know, her giant Jaeger.
I do. Oh God.
I liked how, like, when you saw the United Republic army standing there and Kuvira's army, and then like Kuvira's giant mega death robot was standing right there, and it was just like, well, this seems a little lopsided.
Yeah.
And then Kuvira proceeds to show just how lopsided everything is by just destroying, I think, General Iroh's 2 flagships that are currently in the bay.
Yeah, well, that's skipping ahead a little bit now that when they get to the city, they're on the edge of the city.
Yeah.
But before that, you know, they find, and then they're like fighting, and I'm surprised at how agile this thing can move when like you're trying to like attack an air bison.
Well, we see Kuvira like controlling it. She's got like basically mouse roller balls that she's controlling via metal bending to aim and fire this thing.
Yeah, which was pretty cool. But for a second, it took me. I had to go back and rewatch that because I thought there were levers that she was just too lazy to reach over and move. So she was just like metal bend. But I rewatched it. I'm like, oh, they're like little metal ball things.
Yeah.
Which I've always wondered, because we talked a lot about like, you know, Star Wars and this. I've always wondered why the Jedi actually ever really like went out and picked things up. Like, you have telekinesis, man. Like, do you need to cross a room to get that cup of tea? No, you don't. That's what.
But you don't know,
you're
the Force could be a
abusing the
limited
Force.
That's not abusing the Force.
I don't
That's
know.
using it for its intended purpose.
Yeah, well, then again, like Yoda doesn't Yoda float sometimes? I mean, he's lazy.
yes.
It's like, but he's also like 900. Okay, we're getting off topic.
Yeah, we don't want to get the woot woot. You're off
Yeah,
topic
but Steven's
thing.
not in the booth, so I think this guy's nicer. I like him.
Sean's amazing.
I make him laugh.
Can we give a shout out to our engineer / producer Sean, because he's great.
Hey, Sean.
Thank you.
Yeah, he doesn't talk. He just likes to press
Thank
buttons
you.
and
Thank
make
you
sounds.
guys very
Oh wait,
much.
that's
Can you
talking.
hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, though, although on the topic of shoutouts, so Kuvira's army marches up, Kuvira fires Death Ray, and Raiko immediately surrenders.
Well, with all due, it makes sense though. I mean, like, gee, can you really? No, like that. It makes more sense at least until they find a backup plan, which they do, and that's when we kind of backtracked a little bit. You know, the whole farting thing with Milo, and they need to try to kidnap
Batar Jr.
Batar
Yes.
Jr., which they do successfully, which I thought was a really awesome scene. And hey, Tenzin, you looking good with your little skin tight little.
Really?
Not really. I'm just saying. He hasn't been wearing that. He's always wearing his robes. We don't get to see him
he
in that.
belongs in those robes.
He does belong in the robes.
Never take them off.
I was kind of interested to see if Tenzin actually did adopt like the new wingsuit thing, and I guess like he had, but it was hard to see underneath his cape.
Right.
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes sense that, I mean, it's cool. Again, we're seeing how everything has been developing over time with their technologies for everything, and we're seeing what the airbenders now, it's like, well, you have to kind of be an air ninja right now, so we maybe don't have time to make everybody a little air staff thing, because it's not going to be as easy to move around for like a mission like this. So they do wind up getting him, and I love that whole scene where nobody knows where the hell he is.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic scene, and also like really, really worrying. Like I don't know if they necessarily thought everything through. It's like, okay, let's go kidnap this guy, and that won't prompt Kuvira to have a very, very emotional and unstable response. I mean, after seeing it, we now know what could have happened, but that could have easily been what's like they took my what, and I'm gonna start blowing it. I'm gonna start blowing everything up until you bring him outside.
Right.
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't think it was that. I mean, like they said, like the only way to get to her is from Atara Jr. And also, I mean, he's got to know about how the machine works or its weaknesses. So he's like a very key factor, even if it isn't to get directly to her, to at least figure out like maybe if the machine has a weakness, if he does that, which I didn't know how this episode was going to go. Like I said, I had a feeling she was going to do something to screw up his trust with her that would make him go to their side. But
right.
But you know, like this whole, now we have the setup for what's going to happen and how everything's going to go down next episode.
Yeah. So just to get there, they get him into a room, essentially the factory where they're making the airships. Korra tries to interrogate him, but he knows that she's not going to hurt him.
Yeah.
So she
I have glowing eyes. Damn it, it's not working.
Yeah. So she threatens to take him around with her forever.
I will make it so that you will never see Kuvira again.
Yeah.
Yes.
It wasn't it. They try to threaten him physically. He doesn't respond. His mom tries to talk sense into him. He doesn't respond. But then immediately Korra's just like, I will, like, I kind of liked how just like creepy and awesome was, like, I will make it my life's mission to just drag you all over the world, keeping you from the one you love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is really, I mean, that was the weakness there. I mean, he doesn't care about his family right now. That's his. Let me rephrase that. He breathes and his whole world is about Kuvira. There's no way I could say that line without.
Yeah, you really can't go the eat, breathe, sleeps Kuvira because that's
so
creepy.
Yes, so I'm going to rephrase and redirect and say he loves her, and he really
creepily loves her. It's
head
over heels.
I don't think it's even creepy. He really, really loves her, and obviously it's warping his view on what he wants best for the world. But in his mind too, he also sees the good in it. Like he still can't see. He can't see the Nazi-ness behind it, really.
Right.
So because he loves her so much.
Yes.
So
love is blind.
Yeah, so, I mean, but then, of course, we have Kuvira, who very cleverly decides to track down off the radio of where he's calling from while he's trying to ask her to please, you know, like, I don't want to be without you. Come on, let's just back away. We have the rest of the Earth Kingdom. We don't need Republic City. Let's just get married. And she's all, oh, yeah, baby, that sounds so great. Target location. And, like, what the? And I'm
target acquired.
Yeah. Yes. And I'm just, like, so, like, aw, he's gonna get his heart broken, but also go boom, you know, and then that happens, and then we have this dramatic scene where they're just barely getting out.
If they got out.
If they got out, dun dun dun.
It's all up to Milo in the finale.
Milo farts away the fire, and it just, saves everybody. The end. So, what do you guys think is going to happen next week?
Well,
I mean, how do you think it's going to happen?
I have no clue how they're going to pull it off, but it's down to Team Avatar.
Now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
And I think it's down to Team Avatar to basically infiltrate this massive mech and destroy it. But I think that we're going to have a last-minute rescue by the spirits. I think the spirits are going to come from the wilds to save Republic City, and that's...
Yeah, I mean, or somehow, because, like, I don't see what the point would have been for her to go ask for their help, and they're like, no, you're getting us involved in human things, and then, like, what was the point of that? I mean, but I feel like... I don't know if the spirit, like, I want the spirits to be involved somehow, but I'm trying to think of a loophole of how they would come to the conclusion that yes, we should help, even though it's a human war. Like, my whole thing would be how they would link that up. So the whole speech with the spirits saying we don't want to get involved because it's in our place.
Well, I mean, there are spirit wilds in Republic City, and also the wilds are spirit power, or the mech is spirit power.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so we can say that she's abusing spirit energy and power.
Yes.
Let's stop her
Which
for
they,
the good
but
of
they
spiritness.
accused Korra of trying to do the same thing. But I think, like, where the clear separation is like Korra isn't forcing the spirits to do anything. She was asking them. But then also at the same time, you live there. That your home, guys. Don't, like,
You just said, that you home, guys. That you home.
Yes.
That you home.
That's how angry I am. I can't even add R's to the end of the to the things.
Hashtag that you home.
I lost my ability to add R's. That's what happens when my anger flares up. I don't get angry. I get angry.
It's so funny.
Nice.
You get angy.
Anyway, bump you across the table for that one. Yep.
Air fist bump. No, I think we're gonna have an amazing. It's because next week's the finale, right?
Yes.
So
series finale.
Sad. God, that it's over. Can't we just have the next incarnation, please? Anyway, I think that we're gonna have this really. I mean, is it an hour long or is it?
It's an hour long.
Okay,
yes.
good. So I think we're gonna have maybe a little bit of the spirits coming in. I think we're gonna have Batar Jr. trying to. He's brokenhearted, but he's gonna do something. I think he's gonna do something stupid and like kind of self-sacrificial. Is that the word? Self-sacrificial.
Self-sacrificial.
I think he's gonna do something like that because he's like, I have nothing to live for.
Right.
I don't know why he sounds like the guy from the World of Tomorrow. And yeah, I'm just really excited. Like I don't even want to try to think of what's gonna happen because I just want to be on my toes the entire time.
Nice. Going along with our World War II theory, I'm going to assume that Kuvira is going to do some kind of Pearl Harbor-y thing to the spirits in the spirit world, something to get them involved. They're going to drop the spirit bomb, and then everything's going to be over. Spirit bomb.
Son, Mr. Golden Sun, kill my enemies.
Yes. It's a DBZ abridged thing.
Yes.
I didn't see that.
All right.
But yeah, so
there were a lot of layers to that.
Yeah, it was really great. All of our fans on the internet and the Twitter are going, yes, with 6 E's, 8 S's, and 11 exclamation marks.
And for whatever reason, everybody is subtracting their R's from every word.
Totally.
That you home! Well, you people at home, you should tweet us and tell us your thoughts and meet us back here next week for the season finale.
Who are we?
I'm John Quick. You can find me on Twitter at @NowQuick.
You can find me on Twitter at TauriJ, that's TaurijAY. Lizzie Maui.
Hey, I'm Liz Rishmawy. But yeah, Lizzie Maui is where you can find me on Twitter and Instagram. That's LIZZYMAWY. And I'm really excited because coming up, we got a bunch of shows coming back for the new seasons. Check me out on Helix. I think Dominion's coming back. Whole bunch of stuff. Follow me on Twitter and I will catch you guys up with that.
Yeah.
All right, can't wait to see you guys next week for the finale.
See you next week. Bye-bye. Peace out.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.